Pivoting now to more local news. Now on your feed at 5, the Ohio Supreme Court is now considering its move after justices today heard arguments to throw out new state legislative maps as illegal.
Yeah, many are following this story very closely. Sarah Shookman is here now to tell us what all of this means and the changes that voters have been asking for since 2015. Sarah, good evening to you.
Yeah, hi, Jay and Betsy. Well, in 2015, Ohio voters overwhelmingly voted for anti-gerrymandering rules, which included a requirement for bipartisan compromise. The goal here is to draw maps that do not unfairly benefit one party. Well, the maps passed in September by the Ohio Redistricting Commission are being challenged now by 3 lawsuits. And today, the Ohio Supreme Court heard the arguments and now must consider how to interpret the reforms voters approved years ago and whether the commission must follow all of them or view them as mere suggestions. As they're currently drawn, the GOP would likely win 66% of seats in the state's General Assembly, thus sealing a veto-proof majority, which Ohio's Republican governor and Secretary of State publicly questioned before then voting for the plan. 2 Democrats on the commission voted against it, meaning these would expire in 2024. Now, the best window into what the Republican-led court is thinking might be through its Chief Justice, the possible swing vote here, who ran through this scenario today.
We reject it for some reason. We send it back with complete instructions on where we find the issues and what we believe is the remedy. Then it goes back to the commission for them to create a new map, right?
Right.
Okay, and obviously, if that's unchallenged, that becomes the redistricting. Okay, right. If it is challenged and it's back here, this could go on forever.
Ad nauseum.
Philip Strach, the attorney hired by the Republican state legislative leaders to defend the maps there, said the new process worked and Ohio is seeing fairer maps because of it. And if there's no proof of the anti-gerrymandering requirements were violated here. Watching it all unfold today, though, I can tell you it's clear the Republican Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor there seemed skeptical about the process. Now, she voted against the current state maps back in 2011 when the Republican majority upheld them. So that's why she could be considered the possible swing vote here. There's no deadline for the court to act, Jay and Betsy, but the filing deadline for the May primary in this election, that's February 2nd. So that's coming up, and that's really when these maps would go into effect. So we expect that we probably will hear something pretty soon.
Yeah, but like we heard there, this sounds like a game of political ping pong. Back and forth, back and forth. Where does it end then?
Well, and it's for many years already been going back and forth, right? Because voters have been asking for this and it just hasn't happened. Well, if the state doesn't have valid legal redistricting plans as voters chose, someone eventually could go to federal court and ask a federal judge to draw the map that would make that happen. Now, the 2015 rules do create incentives for Republicans and Democrats to work together here, but it just doesn't seem like that's happened yet.
Oh, boy. Wow.
We don't see a lot of that these days, Republican and Democrats working together on anything, and I can't imagine they're going to solve this.
And then to throw it up to a federal judge to take care of what's happening here in Ohio, I think a lot of folks would be like, whoa.
Right. So that isn't happening yet, to be clear, but this could mark a new chapter if we do start this process of the Supreme Court rejecting it and it going back to that commission.
All right.
We'll stay on top of it.
Sarah, thanks.
Sarah.